Hi, I'm Michelle Werdeman, and I am here to help you navigate your life's next chapter through mind, balance, and wellness living. At every phase of our lives, through marriage, career changes, kids, and retirement, I am there for my clients emotionally to help create a personalized life plan. With my foundational coaching perspective and certified financial planning background, together we can create a plan for you through each chapter of your life. Contact me today through mbwliving.com for your free consultation. Hello and welcome to the Boot Camp for Your Mind podcast. I am your host, Michelle Werdeman, certified life, weight, and career coach and founder of Mind Balance Wellness Living. How are you guys doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in. You know what? I gotta be honest, I'm feeling kind of fabulous today. Really, I am feeling really good. I did not, though, when I first woke up. And the more I think about it, when you ask somebody, how are you doing? Isn't it funny how most of the time the standard answer is kind of oh, I'm good, thanks. Even when it's not true, we say it anyway, right? And I wonder why that is. Do you think people are just asking you to be polite and they don't really care how you're doing, so you just say fine, thanks? Or maybe it's just easier to say, oh, I'm good, thanks, rather than taking a moment and actually thinking about how you are really feeling, in that moment. And I just find it interesting. And, I was watching this segment about raising teenagers. I don't have teenagers yet. Thankfully, I am years away from that. But there was a psychologist on, and what she was talking about was, when you ask a teenager most of the time, how was your day? Usually they just give you a one-word answer, oh, fine. But rather than asking them how their day was, actually ask specific questions, because chances are when you ask specific open-ended questions, you're going to actually get more of an answer. So anywho, I just think it's interesting how most of the time you ask somebody and they just always default to I'm fine, thanks. But anyway, I hope you are doing good wherever and whenever you're listening to this podcast. And if you are having kind of one of those blah days, I hope that when you are finished listening, that your day gets a little bit better. So yeah, like I said, I'm feeling really, really good today. And it wasn't the case when I first woke up. When I first woke up, I thought to myself, I stayed up too late last night, binging my television show, which, by the way, I'm binging Revenge on Hulu. I watched it years ago, and I'm going through it again. I absolutely love it, so I highly recommend it. So that was one thought. I stayed up too late. Then I thought, I don't want to go to the gym. It's kind of cold and rainy out. My bed is way more comfortable. Then I started thinking about all the work I had to do. So I took a minute, and I knew I wanted to have a really good, productive day. So I decided that in that moment, because I had time before I needed to get up and get the kids squared away for school, I was going to dive into some of my coaching modules that I missed earlier in the month. And these, aren't modules that I coach. This is actually a coaching program that I am a part of, and where I continue to grow and I continue to learn, because honestly, being a coach myself, I realize the importance of receiving my own coaching so that I can continue to invest in myself and also learn more tools that I can bring to my clients. And this helps me move forward with the goals that I have, in my life. And this particular class, I loved it because I needed it right then in that moment. And it was all about how to move forward and continue to take action towards your goals when you have zero desire or motivation. And I've talked about this before. I've written about it in my blogs. Motivation, my friends, is something that does not last. It comes and goes in waves. So you have to figure out how you're going to continue to move forward when you have no motivation. So in my example, for me, I am working on two particular goals. One is in my business, and the other is a physical goal of reaching my ideal weight and be in triathlon ready shape. I signed up for a triathlon this coming September. I have some serious work to do. It's been a few years since I've done one, so I want to be ready. And I knew those thoughts of my bed is more comfortable. I have so much work to do. I don't really feel like going to the gym. I'm tired. Those types of thoughts weren't going to get me to move forward. And all it did was just start the voices in my head going back. So
as I'm laying there, one of the thoughts that I had that kept surfacing was I really don't feel like going to the gym. Like, it was gross out, and it would have been so much more comfortable just to stay home and skip my workout. And it was funny because I was kind of kidding myself. I was staring at my Peloton, making a deal in my head that if I skipped the gym, I would ride my bike. And given the way that I was feeling, I secretly knew that probably wasn't going to happen if I stayed home. I would have found another reason why I didn't get on the bike. Because our brains are designed to want instant gratification. And when you kind of start to have that internal battle with yourself about, being temporarily uncomfortable or instant satisfaction, guess what part of your brain is going to win? And I'm sure all of you listening know exactly what I'm talking about. And the good thing is it's just your brain doing what your brain is supposed to do. So I think you can probably all relate to this morning debate that I was having. The problem was staying home and skipping my workout getting me any closer to either of my goals? And the answer was no. So the first thing to do in a situation where originally maybe you've planned to get up or go to the gym or eat healthy or whatever it is, and when you start to have that internal, I kind of like to think of it as like the angel versus devil in your head, the first thing I want you to do, and this is what I did this morning, is say, you know what? Rather than thinking all of these thoughts, what is one thing that I can do, just one small step to help get me towards getting up and getting to the gym? So rather than think about my hour workout, I focused on what first step did I need to take. And that was basically getting out of bed and putting on my workout clothes, right? So I got up, got my workout clothes on, and grabbed my coffee. So now my next mission is, once the kids are squared away, I got them taken care of. My next mission, I said, what is the next step? The next step I just had to worry about was getting in my car and driving. That's it. I didn't think about going into the gym. I just thought about getting in my car and driving. It's literally like 6 minutes away. So I had planned accordingly. There was no place else I had to be. So I had my coffee, the kids were gone, I had my workout clothes. Next step, I get in my car and I drive 6 minutes down the street. Now when I'm there, I pull in the parking lot, I see the cars of some of the other regulars that come at this same time that I enjoy working out with. So I decided that my next move was just to go in. That's it, just go in. And I go in and I start talking, to the other folks that are there. And it's not like your typical gym where you kind of can just pick and choose what you want to do. It's a CrossFit gym, so there's like a scheduled time and a scheduled workout to do. So when they say start, like you start. And, the next thing I knew, we've started, I'm huffing, puffing, and boom, literally all done. And once I actually caught my breath, I felt amazing. The endorphins were flowing, and I was pumped that I beat that voice in my head this morning that said it would have been better to stay home. And all it took was thinking about one small step at a time. And these small positive actions led to a larger action and ultimately one step closer to my goal. And frankly, this particular just going to the gym, this set me up for getting my head and my energy to where I wanted it to be so that I could crush the other things that I wanted to knock out, like writing and recording this podcast, for example. And that was a step, obviously, for me. This is part of my business goal. So I want you to think about something that you're working towards. And when you don't feel like taking an action that you had planned or that you know is going to get you one step closer, just stop and think, how can you break that down? How can you break that down into the smallest of steps? So I'll give you another example. So some of my clients who prefer to work out in the evening, just given their schedules, often find that, at the end of a busy day, maybe it was stressful, it was just long, the last thing they want to do is work out. So the first small step we typically plan for is keeping sneakers right at the door for those that work out at home or work from home. And those that are commuting, going into an office, the idea is to, before you leave the office, put on your sneakers, put on your workout clothes, and then get in your car or then hop on the train. Now you've taken just that one small, simple step. And, maybe it's not working out. Maybe it's another goal. Maybe the idea is to eat healthy. And you're in a situation where you're really hungry. There are cookies staring you in the face and you're tempted just to have a small bite, which ultimately usually leads to eating the whole thing because that's how sugar works in our bodies. It makes us crave more. Before you take that small bite, drink a glass of water and just wait 5 minutes, because chances are you're not going to go back for it. And that's just one small step, just grabbing that glass of water. And the stronger you become at taking small steps, the stronger you'll become and the more confidence you'll have with bigger steps. You know, our brains like repetition. So this means your brain doesn't have to work as hard. The more times you do something, it kind of becomes automatic, right? So this is how habits are formed in the subconscious part of your brain. Think about this. If you've ever driven somewhere, okay, that you were used to driving to all the time, you know, maybe it's the office, daycare, or wherever, you're used to taking the same roads, over and over again. Then one day you head out and you get there and all of a sudden you kind of look around, you're like, how the heck did I just get here? Like, you don't even remember driving. Like, you don't necessarily remember even, taking the exit. Maybe you were preoccupied listening to an amazing podcast. I don't know. Or, listening to the radio, or you just zoned out. And you don't remember actually taking the exact steps to get you to where you were going, right? You're basically on autopilot. Your subconscious knew what it was supposed to do. It's similar to like pouring a glass of water, right? Like, how many times have you poured a glass of water? You don't need to think about how to do that. It basically just happens. Like, it's automatic. And it's because you've done these things so many times that it doesn't take your brain a lot of work. It becomes repetition. So the idea here is to develop these small actions that are going to lead to larger actions so that they become second nature to you. And then you just continue to do them for every new goal you set. You repeat the process, and that's how you form habits that create actions that get you closer to your goal. And I encourage you to, really try and just continue to practice this each time you aren't feeling super motivated to do something, because this will help you become more confident in your ability, in yourself, to take action. So think about that. The more you can continue to take small steps, even if you don't make it to the larger steps, but you continue to take the smaller steps, the more confident you will have in your ability to take action, especially when you don't want to, right? And this is where you're going to start to see the larger actions kind of just happen, and then you'll get to see the larger results, right? So you guys got this. I know you do, because if I can do it, so can you. I know I've mentioned this on a couple of my other podcasts, but if you haven't joined my Boot Camp for Your Mind Facebook community, head on over. Each Wednesday we have Wind Down Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what I do is each week I have a different topic that I give live coaching on. And people will write in. Sometimes they have specific things they want to hear me talk about, or maybe I'll bring to Wind Down Wednesday something that's been going on that I see with my clients. But it's fun. It's very relaxed. I encourage you to join. Again, it's the Facebook community, Boot Camp for Your Mind. I will put it in the notes of this podcast. And yeah, I would love for you to join me. It's Wind Down Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Cheers, and be well, my friends. Bye.
Michelle Werdeman is a certified life coach, now offering an online coaching membership to support brain power and mental wellness. It's important to exercise our bodies, but we have to exercise our minds too. Our thoughts are what ultimately create the results in our lives. And becoming aware of our thoughts is what we dive into through her Mind, Brain, and Wellness program. You can start to create your dream life today from the comfort of your own home and at your own pace too. Contact Michelle today at mbwliving.com.